Welcome to Interview, a production of the Government Information Service. I am Lucia. September is Business Month. To talk a little bit more about the month and the activities for that month, we have the Business Development Officer from the Small Enterprise Development Unit, Mr. Egbert Stevens, as our guest today. Welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Ali.
What's going on for Business Month?
Well, Business Month is an initiative by the Ministry of Commerce, Business Development, Investment and Consumer Affairs. And what the ministry is aiming to do is to highlight initiatives that's going to bring out the MSMEs.
What is MSMEs?
Medium, small and micro enterprises.
So that's your demographic?
That's our demographic.
Okay. Now, I want you to go through with me some of the activities that are going to be taking place for Business Month.
Well, some of the activities that are taking place, we have the grand ceremonial lunch on the 7th of September. There's going to be a debate by the NYC and Monroe College on the business model of Sir Arthur Lewis. There's also going to be a mini expo, which is going to take place at the National Cultural Center. There are going to be a number of launches of websites by support agencies, that of TIPA, that of SEDU, and the National Productivity Council. There's also going to be a symposium for financing for the micro and small enterprises.
Why does the Ministry of Commerce, Business Development, Investment and Consumer Affairs find it necessary to have an entire month dedicated to businesses and entrepreneurship?
Well, as some persons may know, but I think the general public needs to know that over 76% of our enterprises are that of these micro and small enterprises. They form the bulk of it, and we feel that we need to do things that will enhance their survival, their viability, and their development.
Now, I know for a lot of the small businesses and the micro businesses, financing is an issue. Access to financing and strategic management of financing. Is there anything in the program that will specifically address that?
Oh yes, the MSME Finance Symposium is going to take place on 21st of September. It's going to address that to a great extent.
How is it going to do that?
Well, what the symposium intends to do, which is going to take place, the tentative venue is that of the Bay Gardens Conference Center, is to look at the whole management of finance, access to finance, risk management, and to bring together both the established MSMEs, potential MSMEs, and the lending agencies to interact one-on-one. We find that a lot of small businesses complain to us that the bank, the lending agencies are not sensitive to their needs. And on the flip side, the banks are saying that these clients are not ready for them yet. So we want to bring them together in a forum where they are going to understand the requirements of each other and get to interact so that they can make themselves more available to each other, I would say.
I want to talk a little bit more about the symposium. How is it broken down? Do you have any modules? What does the modules address?
Well, the symposium is broken down into two main sections. The morning section, or the first section, is that of looking at about 4 different modules that we're going to address in the form of lectures or presentations, so to speak. We have one of access to finance, where you're going to speak to what are the financial requirements that are necessary, that they need to have, the whole initiative of having the records in place. What do they understand by risk management, and how do they access finance? How do they have the necessary prerequisites, a business plan, or these necessary documents that the financial sector is looking for. Then you have also the second module, that of debt financing. A lot of businesses are not privy or don't understand how to get financing for their businesses, right? Then we look up, so following that module, we're looking at equity financing, the different statutes, and then we have the last module, which is going to be looking at the interaction between the financial agencies and the clients themselves.
So I know you have the modules and they address specific areas, but what I want to get from you is a sense of what does SEDU expect to accomplish with this financial symposium? Is it something where we equip our small and micro enterprises with the information and the tools that are necessary to move forward? How do you measure the outcome of these achievements, or what you want to achieve? What are the goalposts?
Well, one of the goalposts that we're looking at is the real access of those financial instruments by these MSMEs, these small enterprises. Also that of they're covering themselves in risk management, having instruments to cover possible losses. I mean, a case in point was after the trough, the Christmas trough. Quite a few small businesses were affected, especially in the communities, and they had no risk management, no way to fall back to cover their losses. We want them to understand that this is a necessary factor in going to business, that you need to look at it. And also to sensitize those risk management and financial agencies to put in products that's going to be conducive to cover, to assist these small businesses in them becoming viable and developing themselves, because you know it's from small business to get to big business.
So you're trying to bridge that gap between
Yes.
the businesses and the lending institutions.
Yes, we're trying to bridge that gap, and we're trying to get a learning curve, so to speak, so that these businesses will learn what is required, learn what the market is asking for, and by extension, the lending agencies will understand what the clients, the small businesses are looking for, and how to package products that's going to benefit them.
This is a very interesting discussion. Viewers, this is Interview, a production of the Government Information Service. We'll be back in a moment.
St. Lucia, our home. St. Lucia represents different things to each of us. What do you like about St. Lucia?
Strong communities,
natural resources,
thriving industries,
democracy,
national pride,
our unique culture,
creativity.
While we may all have different views, we can work together to build a stronger nation. Let us each play our part.
Welcome back to Interview, a production of the Government Information Service. I am Lucia, and with me in studio today is Egbert Stevens, the Business Development Officer at SEDU. Just before we went to a break, we were discussing bridging the gap between micro and small enterprises and lending institutions. How does SEDU propose to form these strategic partnerships?
Well, the whole strategic partnership development is going through the whole, as we said earlier, the SBDC. With the development of the SBDC, we have
okay, let's go. What is SBDC?
The SBDC is a Small Business Development Center. It's a model that was unveiled by the government last year. It's from the United States. And what we have formed is the SBDC and SBDC network. There are a number of business support agencies which form part of the whole life of small businesses. The banks, the Central Bureau of Standards, Ministry of Health in the section of the environmental health, TIPA, and all these other support agencies. So what we're looking to do is to give a greater visibility to these agencies. So from the point of letting the small enterprises know who are the players in their business life. In doing so, we also looking to give ourselves information that when these clients come to us, we know exactly what they're looking for and how to prepare them to go to those institutions, right? So, for instance, if they want to, say you want to open a meat store, we would know that you, first of all, would have to get approval from planning. You'd have to get approval from the Environmental Health Department in making sure that the area that you're going to go into is conducive for that kind of business. We also have information as to the requirements of the banking sector. If you're going to look for financing from them, what requires. So that when you come to us, it's almost like a one-stop shop, that the information is readily available, so that when we were to send you to Bell Fund or the bank or wherever, you'd have the prerequisites that they're looking for in going to business.
I know for the financial symposium, it's categorized into tiers. There's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Explain to me what the tiers are about.
Okay, we have divided our business sector into tiers, tier 1, 2, and 3. Tier 1 are business starters, persons who come and tell you, I have a business idea. right? These are the persons that form tier 1. Tier 2 are persons who come and tell you that I am ready to go into business. I have done my necessary marketing or market research. I'm ready to go into business and whatnot. And tier 3 are persons who are established already. There's some persons that are in tier 1, in tier 2 that are established but never registered. The persons who had that business already set up, but they never registered. So now they're formalizing the registration. So they're already set up, so then we just have in tier 2, which is established business, and tier 3, those that are really, they don't really need our help so much in setting up, but really in networking, you know.
Now tell us, I know we're coming to the end of our program in a bit. Tell us a little bit about how SEDU supports small and micro enterprises. I know we spoke about the financial symposium that you guys are having in September, but I know there's a lot more support and networking available from SEDU, from the Ministry of Commerce. Okay,
just a reminder that we keep saying SEDU, but SEDU is really being phased out to make way for the SBDC. Not that SEDU will not be there, but really the SBDC will be assuming the functions of SEDU. So persons get ready to understand that they'll be hearing more about SBDC, the Small Business Development Center, and a little less of SEDU because the center is doing a little more than what SEDU is doing right now. SEDU has a number of functions, I mean advocacy, networking, and these functions look to prepare, give small businesses the necessary impetus to getting their business off the ground. We assist in doing business plans and the likes. And as such, we prepare the small businesses that when they come to us, they are able to go into business in almost seamless manner, right? We would make sure that whatever necessary agencies they need to, we could forward them to them, follow up with them. You know, most likely holding their hand right through the process. But at the same time, we're not making them dependent on us because we want them to graduate. By the time they get to a medium enterprise, they'd have graduated to be able to stand on their own and do things for themselves.
And some of the tools that you use to assist them are several workshops, symposiums, seminars. So if someone who has a small or micro enterprise decides, okay, you know what, I want to further myself, I want to further my business, would you encourage them to, how would you encourage them to partner a little bit more with SEDU/SBDC? Okay,
one of the first things we do is that we have what we call a business essentials workshop, which is open for all our new registrants. That activity takes place once a month, and in it we bring in all the new sign-ups, new clients who sign up with us, where we give them almost like a crash course of what the business environment is all about, what's required in the requirements of law, networking, the banking, financial instruments and whatnot. So that really whets the appetite as to what they're going to be facing out there. And it also gives them an opportunity to network because we don't bring just one set, we bring all them together, so you have a wide cross-section of businesses in there and able to network, and sometimes they form alliances right there in bringing the business forward.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stevens, and thank you very much, viewers. This has been Interview, a production of the Government Information Service. Remember, September is Business Month. I am Lucia. On behalf of the entire team here at the Government Information Service, we're inviting you to stay tuned to the National Television Network.